There won't be a Hogwarts Legacy 2. At least, not in the way you might think. See, Hogwarts Legacy broke one of the biggest rules in the Harry Potter universe. Every chapter about the boy who lived featured a specific sub-theme reflected in the title. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and the Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, and so on. Even Fantastic Beasts carried on this and the tradition. But Hogwarts Legacy chose to break the rule and didn't feature its sub-theme in the title. Or did it? While it got rid of the famous and the, I believe the sub-theme is still there. If we flip back the pages of history to the year 2018, when a brand new Harry Potter open-world RPG was leaked, the rumored title was Hogwarts: A Dark Legacy. From the beginning, the main focus of this game was clearly going to be Hogwarts, with the sub-theme being Legacy. This perfectly reflects the overall theme of the game. It is the legacy that the castle carries through centuries, passing secret power to a select few. And while I think the main focus of the next game will remain on Hogwarts, the overarching theme will be something different, which will also reflect in its title. So, there won't be Hogwarts Legacy 2. Instead, it will be Hogwarts blank. To fill in that blank, we need to answer a key question. What will be the main theme of the next game? Luckily, we already have some clues. In my previous video, I provided a deep analysis of Hogwarts Legacy's storyline, and using the laws of storytelling, outlined the trajectory the sequel might take. With Sebastian's fate now on the brink of villainy, and the main character in possession of immense power, what the sequel will likely explore is the burden of the power and the responsibilities that come with it. However, that only addresses the internal struggles of the protagonist, and specifically the external conflicts will shape the overall theme of the game. We know that Warner Bros. Wants to tie this storyline into the HBO series. While this doesn't necessarily mean jump into a new timeline, it suggests that the future games will lay the foundation for the series, potentially exploring key storylines the Fantastic Beasts failed to portray effectively. And lastly, Albus Dumbledore is soon to attend Hogwarts. While Dumbledore himself serves as a link to the Harry Potter storyline, so does the growing division in the wizarding world over muggles. In fact, in the timeline of the sequel, the year 1891 will mark the time when a group of muggles will attack Ariana Dumbledore and force her father, Percival Dumbledore, to seek revenge, resulting in his imprisonment in Azkaban. Something that we might see in the headlines of the Daily Prophet. This event shaped Dumbledore's initial stance on muggles, and, as we know, he later joined forces with Grindelwald to try to overthrow the Ministry for the greater good, which meant wizards dominating over muggles. Still, one event alone can't explain the widespread animosity many wizards harbor toward muggles. I believe the sequel will depict an outrageous event that reignites this widespread hatred toward muggles and explain why there were so many folks who then followed Grindelwald and later Voldemort. This storyline could seamlessly tie Hogwarts blank to the HBO series. So, we now have 3 potential themes for the next game. With great power comes great responsibility, Sebastian's potential fall to the darker side, and the great uprising against muggles. How might these themes shape the sequel's title? Let's explore some potential titles and find one word that best describes all these themes. A simple vocabulary search gave us 5 main options. Hogwarts Dominion highlights power, control, and authority, tying directly into the theme of with great power comes great responsibility. It suggests a battle over who rules or governs, which perfectly fits the potential uprising and struggle between wizards and muggles. However, it leans more toward dominance than balance. Resurgence indicates a revival or comeback, which works well with the idea of an uprising or rekindling old tensions like a wizard-muggle conflict. It also has a somewhat hopeful undertone, potentially reflecting Hogwarts' survival and renewal amidst conflict. Ascension suggests rising to power or a higher state, whether morally, spiritually, or politically. It reflects growth and ambition, tying into both the protagonist's journey and Sebastian's path, redemption or villainy. It's uplifting yet neutral, which might lack the darker edge of heresy. Dark and dramatic, this word encapsulates the weight of consequences, both personal, Sebastian's potential descent into revenge or redemption, and societal, the escalating conflict between wizards and muggles. It's emotionally charged, evoking rebellion and moral conflict, but it may also narrow the focus to themes of defiance and Sebastian's darker path. Lastly, we have Imperium, a Latin word that translates to command, authority, or empire. It inherently implies power, both the acquisition of it and the burden that comes with wielding it. This aligns perfectly with the overarching theme of "with great power comes great responsibility." It evokes the idea of dominion and control, but it also carries an ominous undertone, as it is the root of the spell Imperio in Harry Potter lore. The subtle nod adds an unsettling, almost foreboding layer to the title, hinting at a potential misuse of power or external threats to that power. I personally think Hogwarts Imperium works best for the next title. It is dark, it is implying things, and it perfectly complements themes of revenge, uprising, and internal struggles between selflessness and temptation. But at the same time, it remains a bit vague, leaving the audience guessing. However, there's still one question remaining. How will all of these themes tie back to Hogwarts? After all, it looks like Hogwarts will be the main subject. Or have the developers shot themselves in the foot by making that choice, just like the creators of the Fantastic Beasts franchise did, where the writers struggled to keep the beasts tied to the main plots, and the sub-themes eventually became more dominant than the main title. The good news is that Hogwarts can be revisited many different times. It has lots of undiscovered secrets, it constantly evolves, and the fans have shown a great interest in diving even deeper into its lore. Perhaps in the sequel, Hogwarts could reflect the internal struggles of the protagonist. For instance, hidden secrets of the castle could mirror the protagonist's moral dilemmas. Additionally, the Muggle uprising could push more witches and wizards to seek refuge in the castle alongside a heavier presence of ministry workers. This, in turn, might cause turmoil inside the walls, with many willing to fight back, turning Hogwarts into the center of confrontations, filling its walls with fear, uncertainty, and hatred. Perhaps the castle could feel more alive, like the Room of Requirement, but darker, responding to the conflicts within and outside its walls. This could somewhat channel the unsafe feeling Hogwarts resonated with in the Chamber of Secrets, or even Deathly Hallows. Although, I have a fear that focusing too much on Hogwarts could restrict opportunities to expand our exploration of the Wizarding worlds outside the castle. Diagon Alley, the Ministry of Magic, and London itself are highly anticipated map expansions for the sequel. These could bring new potential for engaging with the outside world and offer experiences of a more mature witch or wizard. But perhaps that is something the developers have already planned. It is possible they've carefully considered how to balance Hogwarts as a central location with a growing desire for broader exploration. In the sequel, the primary focus of the game will likely shift back to our characters, their personal struggles, and the evolving dynamics within the castle as we begin our 6th year at Hogwarts. While the outside world, places like Diagon Alley, the Ministry of Magic, and even London, may be featured to some extent, it will likely serve more as a tease for what's to come, holding back deeper exploration of the Wizarding World farther corners for the final installment of the trilogy. By the 3rd game, we'll live out our final year as a student, stepping into a culmination of our magical education while preparing for the world beyond Hogwarts. This closing chapter would not only bring the protagonist's journey to a meaningful conclusion, but also set the stage for an entirely new saga to begin, one that could address the potential left untapped by the Fantastic Beasts films. A trilogy structure like this feels natural and satisfying, allowing each game to explore a distinct part of the overarching story while building toward a grand finale, and it fits perfectly to the vision that Warner Bros. Has for this AP. Without venturing too far into the future, one thing is clear. It is an incredible time to be a Harry Potter fan. The future of the wizarding world feels rich with potential, and the next chapter has the opportunity to redefine what we know about Hogwarts and its legacy. But what about you? What role do you think Hogwarts should play in the sequel? And if the title isn't Hogwarts Legacy 2, what do you believe it will be called? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, and all the other buttons of that nature. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.